Hey guys, it's Sherry. It is time for my March update. So I have a notes, I have an agenda notes. So hopefully this will be semi-organized and we'll go from there. So how's everybody been doing? It's been another busy month, crazy busy month as usual. Um, yeah, we'll just jump right in. So stitching, what have I done stitching wise? Let's see. I think I started, you know what? I have my Instagram up. So if you follow me on Instagram, I literally post every day. I rarely miss a day of stitching. I stitch at least a little bit every single day. That is what keeps me sane. So we will start with where I stopped last time. So the one thing that I do well, many days as I can is my 25/7 stitch, which is my oldest whip. And I'm doing that basically when I finish my oldest whip, the next oldest whip will move into that spot. But I have to take it off of. Might be easier just to do that. It's on my what do you call that sucker? The stand thingy. Why can I not think of the word? It starts with an L. Anyway, I do love the corner piece. It holds the two stamps really, really well. And so my oldest whip, as you can see, Last Supper, you guys have seen the chart, the thing already. I'm not going to hold it up again because it's kind of buried under all of the other projects that I'm going to show you today. So I actually made quite a bit of progress since the last time we looked at it. Um, I think all of this stuff in the middle is new. And I think in the last month I said I needed to decide whether or not I was going to start the back stitch before I moved across, before I went over here and started on the other half, because it is just a little bit more than halfway done. Half is literally like, well, that's the halfway mark. So a little bit more than half on there. And I don't know if you can tell, but I actually have started the back stitch on this guy. His hair and beard have been partially back stitched, working on that. And so I will continue to work on this as many days as possible for at least 25 minutes per day. Um, so I know whenever I'm not in town, that does not happen because this stays on the stand in my office where all of the colors are because it has a massive amount of colors in it. Sorry, that's very squeaky. Trying to get it tightened back up so it doesn't fall off. There we go. Okay, there's that. Okay, so number one out of the way. And then yeah, not a lot of time to work on it this month. The other one that I work on all the time every month is my Dark Queen of the Earth. Part 8 dropped last night. Oh, this is April 2nd, so I'm a day late. I don't do anything on April Fool's Day. I'm kidding. No, I did a lot of stuff yesterday, but we'll talk about that in a life update. So the other one I work on every month until it's done is my Dark Queen of the Earth. And like I said, part 8 dropped last night, so I have not started part 8 yet, but I'll show you what it looks like. And so let me find it over here. My wonderful Tula Pink bags. Love this guy. You can see that. That was a big zebra on it. But part 7, I can find a picture of. Get it out of here. So you can see the whole thing without me taking it out of the Q-snap because I really don't want to have to put it back in there because it's perfectly placed for where part 8 is going to be. That was part 7. And we are caught up to part 7. Putting my little death needle minder there in the middle gives her a little head. So it is all caught up and ready to go. You see it's a stitch heavy piece, but like I said, part 8 dropped last night. It was 12:30 my time, so I did not get started on it. And this time we actually get to do her face and hair. There is a optional face that is not quite finished being charted yet, but there is a picture of what it looks like. So I decided that I liked this face more. The only thing I will change, and I don't know if you can see if I come a little closer there, her eyes I know that's supposed to be a pale green. Her skin is a pale green. Um, she looks like a zombie. So I think I'm probably going to change the color of her eyes a little bit. The inside. I'm not exactly sure what, but I do love the red hair. So can't wait to get started on that later today. Probably as soon as I get finished with this video. Put that aside for just now. Let's see what else we got going on. My first of the month new start. So I decided this year that I have so many like monthly series that I've got like the whole thing of, and I haven't done them. And again, the whole thing. Why does it matter if it's sitting in your stash, not started, or started and sitting in your whip pile? Doesn't matter. Whips, and who cares? I mean, really, it doesn't matter. So anyway, this the Songbird Garden series. I think that's what it's called. Is, by Cottage Garden Samplings. That is, so I'm doing those in order. And so in March, I started, yes, Songbird Garden Series. It's right there on the top of the chart. I did, let me pull this out so you can see it without glare. Started on number 3, which is Winter's Wisdom. And let's see if I can figure out what I started it on. This is on 32 count Opal Lugana in Bedrock by the Stitch Me Fabrics. And I think this is probably, it got a couple of hours of stitching. I finished the first tree, I believe, on the first day, and then I think I did like one more day of stitching on it. So that's that one. Sorry, I am taking the time to bag these things back up, otherwise I will not. I will lose things, I will lose floss, and that's not good. It'll be like, oh, where did this go? And when you're starting with, overdyes, you want to make sure that you're using the same ones for the whole project, so you don't have dye lot issues. All right, let's see where we go. And then of course I've been working on my whips as I go through them, going from start to finish, basically touching all my whips. That's my little hashtag that I created. So I'll figure out where I'm going to put this stuff. Okay, got a little let the air out. There we go. So I know I had ended February working on the Twisted Rainbow Band Sampler or something like that by Northern Expressions Newark. And I did end up going back and doing another day on that. And so got quite a bit more of the green done. And I believe I finished. No, I did not. I was getting close to finishing that green coming all the way up. Or no, maybe it is. Yes, because this is the top corner. This is literally the end of the piece right there. So I did finish that part. I still have to fill this junk in, which is in the other green. I don't know if you can tell the difference there, but there are 2 different greens there. So got a little more done on that one. Love that, so pretty. And then I worked on my Dark Queen for several days until it was done. And then we moved on. So next whip up, keep these semi in order, was Lady the Flag. And I think I worked on her for 2 days. There's 2 pictures in there, so probably. I'll show the picture, even though everybody should know what Lady the Flag looks like. This is on a silk weaver. I think it's a solo die. I don't think it has a name. Oh, hang on. Got my needle minder, was holding it all together. We'll get the full extent of what I've done. I filled in a lot across the bottom of here, and a lot of this going and working on a bunch of the metallics. So got quite a bit done. Pretty happy with it. For only being able to stitch for a couple of hours a day. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with what I got done. And then next up was, and I think I got this a little bit out of order. I stitched on one before it should. I switched the days around. I grabbed the wrong one first, but let me find it. There it is. The sorry, I am still dealing with allergies. There's my favorite needle threader. I was wondering where that thing was. It's from the Silver Needle. Love that little thing. Was the Dimensions Gold Collection Holiday Harmony Wreath. And I think I worked on this for 2 days as well. This is just on the 18 count white kit linen. And I got, not linen, Ada, excuse me, got a lot more done on that flower, filled in a whole bunch more green. And I mean, love the depth. There is a ton of blended threads in there. I don't know if you can tell that or not, but that's part of the reason it's such slow going, is making sure you have the right threads, and so many color changes, but it makes it look beautiful. And then next up was my chatelaine. Hang on, I have to grab this one. It's sitting over here because it's still on the stretcher bars. First, do I have a picture? I don't think I have a picture. So I'll put a picture in here. And like I said, still on the stretcher bars because I'd love to work on this some more. I had to get big enough stretcher bars for it, and you see it barely fits. My husband walked in, he's like, what in the hell is that? He goes, that is huge. I said, well, yeah, it's going to be big. Probably didn't need the entire yard fabric. I probably could have cut it down some, but that's okay. So what did I get done when I worked on it? I got the coral filled in on both sides, and that may have been it. Yeah, I need to move this down just a little bit so I can get the coral done down here, because this, I thought I had more to do up here, but I don't, other than beads. So I just need to move it down so I can get the coral done down there. Or I could just finish filling in those two sides, like up here, and then then move it down and do all that on the bottom. But of course, this will look the same on all four sides. So this thing is beautiful and amazing, and I love it. And if you have one this big, yes, you need the extension for the large one, so it helps support that weight across the Lowry stand. That's the name of it. I knew it started with an L. It's having difficulty. And then we had Pie Day on March 14th, which I did not have pie. And then we had the Ides of March on March 15th. And then St. Patrick's Day on March 17th. It was a busy month. And then I finally got around to doing my Gather Round New Start from Kathy Copperman, the Gather Round Club. And I think the second set, oops, there's still thread on that, is getting ready to ship anytime now. I have not checked my email. I'll have to take this one out of the Q-Snap, well, partially out of the Q-Snap. So I started this on, let's see, March 17th, so on St. Patrick's Day. I started with the center one, which is the Gather Wildflowers. And the center, this piece right here that says Gather Wildflowers, is 1/1. And that takes a little bit of time, takes a hot minute. And then when I finished that, oh, well, I worked on that for several days off and on, but I finally finished it on March 22nd. And then, of course, moved right on to the quilted wildflowers, which is right there. And if you have been stitching this yourself, well, you will see there is one major mistake in this thing. I misread the pattern because I stitch upside down a lot, whatever way works better for me at that point. And the symbol for the yellow and the 3865, the white, are the same symbol, they're just flipped over. So my fault, but really similar. So the yellow that you see in the quilt block should be white, but you know what? I had already finished it. I'm like, and it'll work. And so it's fine. So that one I started on March 23rd and finished on 5 days ago. What's that? I hate it when it doesn't tell you that on the actual days on your Instagram. So 28th, something like that, somewhere in there. So that one's finished. And then I started the next one 3 days ago. So that would have been March 30th or March 31st, something like that. And that one is cottage wildflowers. And it will eventually look like that one on the end. Now you can see the white in the that it should have been. But you know what? It's all good. So put that back in there and I'll put him back in the Q-snap. And I've been trying to spend like an hour a day on that one just so I'm not ignoring it. I just start because I'd like to get it done since it is a ongoing and they're going to get another kit. And yeah, I think I can get that one done before I get the next kit because I haven't checked my email today, but as of yesterday, I had not gotten a shipping notice yet for the next set. There's no way I'm going to get them finished. We'll worry about that at another point in time. All right. Oh, let's see what was next. Back up to where I was. All right. Next whip was Holiday Harmony Wreath. This is the travel companion to the Holiday Harmony. This Holiday Harmony tree skirt that goes with the Holiday Harmony Wreath. It is on like 11 count Ada, and it is freaking massive. And I think I worked on this for 2 days as well because one day I just really didn't get a lot of time to work on it at all. Oop, purple thread. But I did get, if I can get hold of it, quite a bit more done on it. All of this stuff out here is new. Some of this stuff here is new. I filled in a lot around this. All this is new up here and filling in some of the stuff in here. And this piece out here is new. So yeah, I mean, look at that. Look at the depth in that. You can just see the curve of the ribbons, right? With the way the light shines on them. It's amazing. So it will be cool when I finally finish it. And then something happened that you will see about in my life update. So excited. And then we had first day of spring, the vernal equinox. Guess I'm going to put that piece of purple thread back in there because I don't know where it goes, but it came out of here, so it must go back in there. Squish it back in there. Right, then we worked on Victorian Charm, another Dimensions project. This was part of a SAL that has long since been over. I'm sure everybody else in it has finished theirs, and I have not, but I do love this piece. It's absolutely gorgeous. I just wish I had changed out for different fabric because the Ada is stiff. So I filled in a lot of holes here and there that needed to be filled in. So like the pink in here, I think needed to be filled in. Some of the pieces in down here in the cornice. Same thing up here. I started working on this one, and then I took the pink from here and just continued on up that way, and I did that pink over there, and some of that pink over here, and some of this over here. Just filled in stuff And this one again also has a lot of blended threads. Of course it does, it's dimensions. But I still love it. And that's the point of doing the whole touching all my whips thing. Because if I don't love it, I'm gonna UFO it. And then we went, now lots going on in personal life. Get more about that in the update. But I was traveling again, and the so I just chose a couple. I just pulled the next two projects and took them with me. So most of these got a couple of days. This one is By the Shore, and I believe it's by Marie Barber. And this came out of the August 2014 issue of Just Cross Stitch. I say that because somebody was asking me. Tell me who's by on there. Yes, Marie Barber. And this, oops, okay. This is on a silk weaver, vintage silk weaver that I'm sure I said the name of it in my whip parade at some point. Oh, hang on. My turtle needle minder is holding it together. But actually got quite a bit done. I think I was like down here, and so I extended that border all the way around. Basically, I found out that doing the black and then just filling in the white around it goes pretty quickly. So got quite a bit done on that one. It'll be amazing when it's done. And this is not that yellow. It's much more, that's probably closer to it. It's more like a neutrally sand color. I don't know why those lights are making it look yellow. But I'll have another half of fabric there to stitch something else on. And then next up was Angel of Healing. And this one is a lavender and lace. That pretty thing. Someone asked me if my friend Cindy asked me if I was going to do her face 1/1 and if the pattern gave that option. So I am going to very distantly show you. There's her face, 2/2. But yes, you do have the option of 1/1. They actually charted it for you in 1/1. So yes, I will be doing her face 1/1. I think that will make it just that much more delicate. Uh-oh. I'm not sure if this went in here or in there. We're gonna think that it goes in there because I think I was using B5200 for this one. And this one I know is just plain white or blanc. Probably pulled it out of there when I did that. This is done on the called for silk weaver fabric that I ordered when it came out. See if I can see what the name of it is. Blue Dynasty, 32 count linen. I can get this folded. And this one had 2 days as well, or 3 even, I think, because like I said, I was traveling. But nothing done on the top pieces. I focused down here on that stuff and got it all, focus, come on. Got all that filled in on the bottom. Not sure why it's not focusing very good, but got a lot done. Pretty happy with the progress on that. And then we had next whip up. So now, I'm working my hour a day on my gather around during all of this too. And after this, I was home. I was back home. And so I was able to pull a new chart. This is Holiday word stocking. I have started getting I still get the electronic version of Just Cross Stitch, and so just print them out. So holiday word stocking. My crazy ass decided to do this in DMC satin floss, that crazy shit. And I changed the colors up significantly from what it called for. And I got most of Mary and part of Christmas done, and this piece down here, and this is the beginning of Joy, and then the little bit for the toe that's going to come out look like this is going to go like this right there. So it is slow working with that stuff, but it looks amazing. It's so pretty and very vivid. I love the color, and that's just on a 32 count off-white linen, and generic. Oh, let's see where we're at. We're getting close to the end because I didn't have. Was it like I said? It was a busy month. I didn't have as much stitching time as I would have liked. This one, next whip in the pile. Next one up was I had actually finished the last time I worked on this fully. Well, not fully. I hadn't put the beads in yet. I'll wait and put the beads and buttons on later. This is what the project will look like eventually. Yes, I have the hanger. It is the Christmas tree one, right? Or did I get something different? Oh, Christmas tree hanger. So that's what it looked like. This one's completely done except for putting the beads and the buttons on. So I started on the reindeer. And this is on 18 count and cloth. And so it's done over one on the 18 count and cloth. And so that is what I got done on the little reindeer. Little Mr. Cutie. Gonna be adorable. So made it through a few whips this month. Oops, I knocked my turtle off the wall. And then last but not least, for whips that I worked on, sorry, gotta move some stuff, is Bewitching Banner, designed by Ursula Michael. And this is on a 18 count Ada that my daughter hand dyed, ice dyed actually. And so when I pulled it out, I did, and for whatever, like I said, I don't always leave the DMC in a pattern because most of the time you get pretty close on dye lots. And I went to pull it, and I realized that all of the green that I had done, like probably about this much of the hat, was in the wrong color. I don't know how I pulled the wrong color, but I don't know what green it was. It wasn't the color it was supposed to be. So I had to rip all that out and then put it all back in, which was okay because I realized as I got going that I had forgotten to put in the blue dots. So I had stitched right over the holes for those anyway. So it would have needed to come out regardless. The really, really bright pieces, the blue, the the red dots, I don't know if you can see those very well in there. They're all done in DMC satin, or the light effect stuff. This stuff is a pain in the ass to work with. It might as well be the satin floss. It really is. But it says to use 2 strands. No, 1 strand. 1 strand is more than enough to do that with. So that's what got done on that one. And I need to put that one away because it was still sitting on the couch. I did work on it a second day and got a little more done up here on the hat. I think I did that yesterday morning. So it got worked on partly in April. So I'm not putting that back in the April one. It's just all going to be in this one. Ooh, that floss goes with that project. Alrighty, I'm going to put that in there. take the needle off. I do not like leaving needles in my projects because they can rust. Because I live by the coast and it's very damp here. It's like 94% humidity outside right now, which is why we're wearing a hat because it's a bad hair day. Oh, and the wind's blowing 20 miles an hour too. That's all the stitching I did for this month. I should probably put a pattern back in there too, right? That would make good sense and take it off the Q snap later. Because it might be a hot minute before it gets touched again. All right, let me check my notes. Okay, life update. Most important thing that happened this past month. My Bronco is here. Finally. I don't know if I've mentioned this in any of the other ones, but I ordered my Bronco on my daughter's birthday in 2021. So February 26th, 2021. Let that sink in a minute. So 2021, 2023. So 2 years, 2 years, 2 plus, because it's March. I had to go back in September of 2022 to reorder my Bronco because they couldn't get me a 2022. They were going to get me a 2023. Now I say that I put in my order the 20. I put my reservation in February of 2021, and then they call you and let you know when it's time for you to come put your actual order in. That happened in May or June of 2021. And by September of 2022, they realized they were not going to be able to get to my order. And like I said, in the 2022, so I had to go back and re-put it in 2023. Now, that gave me the opportunity to make changes because there were upgrades, different trim levels, different things that you could pick from. And it also gave me the chance to have looked at and seen them in person, the real Broncos at this point. Not a baby Bronco. This is a big one, full size. So not a sport, it's a big one. And after seeing the four-door Broncos, which is what I had ordered with a hard top, no soft tops. That if I'd ordered a soft top, I probably had it a long time ago. But I wanted a hard top because if anybody who's ever ridden in a soft top Jeep at 70 miles an hour knows it flaps the whole time and you can't hear anything. So hard top, definitely. But the four-door, which I really don't need a four-door. My kids are grown and, well, not completely out of the house. They hardly ever go anywhere with us. The four-door looks, I mean, it looks like every other SUV out there. It looks like a Jeep Grand Cherokee or whatever. I decided I wanted to go back for the classic Bronco look from the Bronco that I grew up with. So we had I believe a 1978 Bronco when I was a kid, red and white, the classic red and white Bronco. The top comes off. Loved that car. Loved it, loved it, loved it. And you can actually order the red and white Bronco now. I wanted to order the red and white Bronco. My husband was like, no. So I let him have veto power on that one because it wasn't not a hill I was willing to die on. But so I stayed with my original color, my aqua blue color, but I went down to the two-door. Now, some of the things which dropped the price a little bit even, which is great, but other things that you lose with that when you go to the two-door is I don't have power seats. I didn't have power seats in my Jeep. I can live without that. It's not a big deal. But you can still get everything else. You can still get the Lux package, but there's no reason to get the Lux package anymore because the things that made it awesome in a four-door, like the power seats, and one thing that I really lost was it doesn't have the stereo upgrade to the B&O. Talk more about that in a second. And it doesn't have the wireless charger. I don't use a wireless charger anyways because it makes your phone overheat. I do not like wireless chargers. My husband has one in his truck and I do not like it. I do not like it. I do not use it. So not a big deal. My sister got her Bronco in 2022. I think she got the Lux package. Anyway, the stereo that is in my husband's truck, we all have Fords, is excellent. I mean, it sounds fantastic. The one in her Bronco, she hates it. She said it's terrible. She goes, it's so tinny. She's like, it sounds like a cheap little POS. So I was like, not a big deal if I lose the B&O. If it's, if it's a lesser grade, whether that's supply chain or what have you, I don't know. My sister has a fine ear for music, and I totally trust her judgment. So it didn't make a difference to me if I had the B&O. The stereo that came in it, the plain old regular Ford stereo, it's fine. Sounds great. No problems with it at all. So finally got my Bronco. I'm very excited. I will put pictures in here. Damn it, I knew I forgot something. The other thing, life update. I replanted all my flowers, and I'll put some pictures in here.
So as you can see from that last little segment, I have had some video issues. I was able to recover that little bit about the life update piece that I forgot, but unfortunately I seem to have accidentally deleted or something corrupted the sections that I recorded for my haul, which was my market releases that I purchased. So we'll do those next time. And also, of course, the plans section. Plans, not a whole lot going on. Keep working on my Dark Queen of the Earth until I get it caught up with part 8, and then keep working on the Gather Round Club until I finish that. Once the next one comes, I will, of course, start those. I will, of course, continue to do my Summer Garden series as those come up. And then just working through all of my whips. So not a whole lot else going on. We're going to New Mexico next week for vacation. I don't know what I'll take with me. Something small probably. That way it's easier to work on. And hopefully I will see you guys back again in April. Who knows? Maybe I will start doing vlogging again now that the big videos, the whip updates are out of the way. That might be easier to keep up with than doing the big at the end of the month where I have to haul everything back out that I've already put away. So might go back to doing the vlogging style where I put it all into an update and either monthly or weekly. We'll see. But again, thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting. I don't answer all the comments. I'm so sorry. It's just I spend too much time on the computer already. If you heart it, you know I've read it and I absolutely love it. Now, if you ask me a direct question, I will, of course, answer it to the best of my ability. But without further ado, I am going to sign off here and say thank you again. Happy stitching, and I'll see you next time.